This is a gross pay calculator. We'll enter in the number of hours worked and the hourly rate, and we'll get the gross pay calculating here. The clear button will clear the text boxes on the label, and the close button will close the form. So let's do the clear button first. So let's set up the clear method to act on the text box txt hours, and we'll do that same thing for the rate, and for the answer we'll do a reset text. Now for the close button, it's just me.close, and now we're ready to do the calculation. I'm going to create an event procedure for the calculate click, and the first thing we want to do is declare our variables. So we use the dim statement for these local variables. We want to create a variable to hold the hours and one to hold the rate. So dim hours as, maybe I'll make it a single, and dim rate as a single. And we'll also have an answer variable, and we'll make that a single as well. Step 2, we want to fill up the variables with the values we want to calculate. So hours is going to be set equal to what is in txt_hours.text. But remember, with option strict on, we need to do some conversions. So I'm going to use the convert class to convert this to a single. And I'll do the same thing down in the rate variable. Now, remember, the little green underline just is a warning that this variable has not been used yet, because if we have unused variables and they're never used, then there's no sense taking up the memory to keep them, so we would just get rid of them. However, we are going to use this one now. Answer is going to be hours times the rate, times not ampersand. And then we need to display the answer. And in the past, we used just this lovely toString. Now, let's save what we've got. And this is the third form. We'll need to make this change here so that when we load the application, the appropriate form displays for us. And pretty shortly I'm going to show you how to create a menu so that you won't have to do that anymore. So the right form is coming up now. We'll enter the hours worked, we'll enter the rate per hour. I'm going to choose to press calculate, and there we have 400. What if I put 405.99? There we go. Now, what if I wanted to display this as dollars and cents? It's not really user-friendly to display the number like this, is it? Let's go ahead and make the change. One wonderful thing about toString method is that it is a method and it accepts arguments that will change its behavior. So if I put in a format string here, and did you see what just happened? See these numbers here? That's showing us how many different overloads or options there are for this method. The first one was just to use toString by itself, and the round brackets then are optional. The second one is accepting a format as a string, which converts the numeric value to a string using the specified format. So the format I'm using is a currency format. So it's going to format our answer to currency. Let's see what it looks like now. So I'll put in 40, I'll put in 10, and when I choose to press calculate, now I have $400, and that looks just a little bit better. Something else that would be a little bit more user-friendly is if I didn't have to actually go and click that calculate button every single time. What if I wanted to just press enter and make the calculation happen? Well, there is a way to do that. if I click on the form and I look over in the properties window all the way to the top, one of the properties of a form is this property, the accept button property. And we can select a button here from the form as a default button. So the form will act like the particular button we select here has been clicked by the user when the user just presses the enter key. So I'm going to try that out now. I'm going to run this and I'll put in 40 and 10 and I'm just going to press enter and it does the calculation. Now you can see that this button is the one that is the accept button because it highlights a slightly different color. One thing you never want to do is set up an accept button that is a destructive button. For instance, the clear or the close don't necessarily make good accept buttons because it's not necessarily what you want them to do by default.